living has heard of the village of my birth.
Damn, you pathetic wretch! Long have you refused your place in this clan. Now, we rid ourselves of your filth once and for all.
Get it over with.
So, even now you test me!
Enough!
I have tried to help him find his place among us. I failed. Gul'dan, there's nothing more I can do for you. But no, I have always believed there is greatness within you. Seek out the throne of the elements. Perhaps there you will find your destiny.
Begone, cripple! You are cast out. In the wastes, you will understand what it means to have no people.
From childhood, my deformity made me a target for mockery and dismissal. I knew I was meant for more than the clan would ever allow of me, and I hated them for it. But after months, alone and starving, I began to consider that the safety and shelter of a clan might be better than endless suffering. The bitterness that had sustained me all my life ate at me until nothing was left. In my weakness, the words of the old shaman pierced the cold.
Seek out the throne of the elements.
There, humbled and broken, I offered myself in the service of whatever would end my anguish. The elements abandoned me. But in their absence, other voices whispered. They had come to me to offer a gift. In return, I would become the harbinger of their fury. Gul'dan.
How dare you return here? You may never rejoin your people.
My people? I have no people! Never again grovel for a place in this world. Instead, I would forge a world that would grovel before me. Thank you. I found my destiny. No one living has heard of the village of my birth. And no one ever will.
They're coming from behind! Cover the flame!
War Chief!
Do not let the Horde die this day. Without the Horde, we'll be overrun! We must retreat!
Get everyone to the gunship.
Everyone, fall back!
Take this to my son.
You will be remembered as the king who sacrificed his life for nothing. For the Alliance.
Ten 10,000 years ago, my city was radiant. The jewel of the Night Elf Empire, Suramar. Our people prospered for centuries, until the Legion came. Entranced by the power they offered, our queen betrayed us to the ruin of the world. As destruction drew ever closer, a desperate choice was made to conjure a powerful shield that would save our beloved city. It worked. Centuries passed. Without moonlight, without sunlight. To survive, we turned to the Nightwell, a font of great power in the city's heart. Slowly, it changed us. And ultimately, drew the Legion once more to our gates. They offered us a trade. The Nightwell for our lives. As the Elders planned their surrender, some of us rebelled. We failed. Now the devils have taken Suramar. And by the curse of the Nightwell, I am damned to wither away. As my city burns.
So, yeah, I'm hoping that you guys have been eager to see this one. Like with the Emerald Nightmare, there's actually a few things I want to talk about. I did those in that order specifically to kind of give you an idea as to what's going on that has led up to this and why. Because this raid, especially the end, is kind of a culmination of the last couple of expansions. You know, you can even include Pandaria in that if you want, but it's mainly, of course, you could definitely say from Warlords to now. Even though you could also, like I said, include Pandaria in there, since there was, of course, the ties with Garrosh, but of course it's mainly about Gul'dan. I played that first one because I want you to keep in mind that backstory that we just saw about Gul'dan. It's kind of important to give an idea as to where he was, how far he's come, and where he's going to be by the end of this raid. Because, well, let's just say there's going to be some similarities to what happened to him back then compared to what's going to happen to him now. So, yeah. Plus, also, now I know that that's alternate Gul'dan and his backstory compared to original Gul'dan, but honestly, I'm one of those who considers it, what they did with alternate Gul'dan, far better than the original Gul'dan. The original Gul'dan didn't really have much of an actual character or story compared to the alternate. Now, you can learn more about the story of original Gul'dan. It's actually in some of the books, like Rise of the Horde is one of those where actually he talks about how his working with Kil'jaeden kind of helped get control of the Horde on behalf of the Legion, turn them into the demonic horde that first invaded Azeroth back in Warcraft 1, since, of course, he was in the Warcraft movie. Yeah, I'm showing that's where the Nightwell is. That's where our destination is going to be. There's the Tomb of Sargeras. We'll be going there in the next video, which with a little bit more about the original Gul'dan in there. But I also wanted to show this angle because I want you to see this down here. This is a bridge that is broken that was supposed to connect over there because this actually used to be the Temple of Elune, but I can discuss that a bit more over here, in the next part. But I just wanted to show this visual here because there are times where we're actually able to visually see the layout of the raid from outside the raid instance, just to kind of give an idea of some of the layout and what we're going to be actually doing and dealing with and fighting on when we actually get there. So anyways, I also want to kind of give you an idea of how you need to go about trying to get to this place, because sometimes it's a little hard to actually find where you're actually supposed to go. Like I said, right here you can see this is actually going to be our final destination right here. This is the final area we're going to be heading to by the end of this raid. We'll talk more about what that is when we get there. I just wanted to kind of point that out, just kind of like be like, this is where our destination is. And we're going to be fighting throughout this whole area right here. This whole final area here. This area over here. I will, of course, be showing it off. The Nighthold is honestly my favorite raid in this expansion. I really like this raid for a number of reasons. And I know that a lot of people also very, very highly regard this as one of the better raids they've ever done. It's also worth noting, and I'm able to show this off because I've been doing the Balance of Power questline on this character. So I have actually just recently finished the entire Insurrection questline. So I even have the quest from Khadgar, which is to go into the raid and defeat Gul'dan. So you can even see here, this is where Elisande used her time magic to freeze everything. Now remember, one of the reasons we're here is not necessarily just for the Nightwell, because we're mainly here to stop Gul'dan from using the Nightwell. We're here partly not just to help out the Nightborn and gain them as allies, but we're also here for another of the pillars of creation, the Eye of Amanthul. Remember, Amanthul is the Titan of time, and that is also working alongside with the Nightwell, and therefore that's why there's a lot of time magic and such throughout this entire area of Suramar, which I know Suramar gets some hate from some people because of the way they designed it gameplay-wise with a lot of the gating and such, but I'm sorry, I love Suramar. This is one of my absolute favorite zones they've ever done. By the way, I love using this mount because once you actually get it, you can just quickly put on the disguise that you get. But really, when you're max level and you're able to one-shot everything in here, it doesn't really matter all that much. But it's just kind of cool.
Are being jailed all across
quiet, Vanthier. Quiet. So, when you are able to do the entire quest line and such, you have a couple of different options of how you want to go about getting to this place. So, over here is the main hub area where you're going to be interacting with the Lysra and a number of the Nightborn during your time here. However, there is a couple of other different ways to go to the raid entrance. One of which is down right here. So you go down here and you head on inside here into the Sanctum of Order. Okay? Just make your way over here. And there's the meeting stone for... it says for the Archway because the dungeon is right there. But the raid entrance is right there. Now, there's another way to get there. Just to help show it off. You can have a portal directly to the raid entrance from the main hub area here in Shalaran.
Undeath welcomes you.
Quiet, Minerva. But yeah, once you have done a bunch of the questing here for the Arkandor and all that, and you're able to basically have done a lot of the questing and unlocked all the different portals here, you can basically just come here, go to the Sanctum of Order portal. Whoop. There you go. You're at the raid entrance.
Undeath.
There is one other way where you can actually be able to just kind of go from the top over here and go down an elevator. But I think the other way is just a little faster. So. Alright. Set to normal. By the way.
Time to die. Welcome to the grave.
A couple of things I was able to accomplish while doing all this questing. Finishing off on this character. In fact, I can go ahead and remove it here. Because I was tracking my rep of the Nightfallen, and I got to Exalted. Yay! Which means I finished off my class order hall set for the Death Lord. Also, you guys remember the withered training thing that we could do? Yeah, like this right over here, the withered army training. That is how you can get the secret appearance for the Blood Decay artifact weapon. It's also that for a couple of other artifact weapons as well. Let me see if I can actually find it here. Ah, here it is. I was able to get it. Yay! The secret appearance for the Blood Decay weapon, the Maw of the Damned. Just wanted to show that off a bit. So yeah, once you finish the Insurrection questing, both Thelyssa and Khadgar are down here, because this is basically we fight our way down to this area. Story-wise, we fight our way through the Sanctum of Order down here to this entrance, and then they say, well, we won't be able to take the Withered with us. So Khadgar goes, Champion, you'll have to gather a group of other fellow heroes and champions to fight at your side. I'm sure you're familiar with such tactics. Lol. Of course, Khadgar has to be the guy who makes the fourth wall jokes, you know. But so he then gives this quest. As we speak, Gul'dan is using the Nightwell's power to pull Sargeras into our world. Gather your companions and fight your way to the top of the Nighthold. I will prepare Light's Heart and join you when the time is right. Together we will put an end to Gul'dan once and for all. It's also worth noting that at this time we would have also have finished the quest line where we were like I mentioned in the previous video, Trial of Valor, we have saved Illidan's soul. Khadgar now has Illidan's soul ready to go, because remember, Gul'dan took Illidan's corpse from the Vault of the Wardens because he's going to use the Nightwell not only to pull Sargeras in, but to pull him into Illidan's body, because the idea is that they're going to have Illidan's body be the new avatar for Sargeras. Which is a huge deal, because Illidan's body is really strong and powerful. And of course, Sargeras is really strong and powerful. Basically, if Gul'dan succeeds in this, there's a really good chance that we would lose. Now, I'm going to do this on normal because, in my opinion, it allows me to show more of the story, because a lot of the dialogue stuff gets cut out when we do Mythic. Now, there is an extra phase in Mythic, which I have attempted to show in the past, and I failed because I actually got blown off the edge. This was before I learned about that mechanic. Where, for a moment, Sargeras will actually show up as the demon within, as Illidan, where he actually has Illidan's voice, and you actually get to kind of, like, have a recreation of the Illidan fight from Black Temple. It's pretty nuts. But, in my opinion, it actually lets us see more of the story if we do this on either normal or heroic, or even the LFR version of the fight. If you're curious, I actually have the mount from the green Infernal mount from Gul'dan. I can even show it off here in a moment. There it is. This mount right here. This is the one that drops from Gul'dan on any difficulty. Any of the 4 difficulties. The other one... Hold on. The other one, this one right here, the red version of it, I have not gotten yet. So I'm passing up an opportunity, but not necessarily, because I can just redo this on Mythic if I wanted to. So, anyways. Now that we've gotten that out of the way. Now, there is a skip. I think it's going to kick in here, because I actually do have the skip on this character. At least for Mythic. I don't know if I have to have it for normal as well. If not, it doesn't really matter, because I'm not using the skip, because I want to show you the entire raid as much as I can. So, the Nighthold.
There is much to be done.
We must stop Gul'dan before he can complete the ritual.
Our isolation has ended.
Long have I waited to return home.
Adore.
By the way, I've disabled all of my add-ons, and the reason for that is because I've been having issues where DBM will just automatically skip cutscenes even when I try to tell it not to do so. and I don't want cutscenes to get skipped. This is basically an issue I'm going to have to try and prevent for the next couple of raids as well. Tomb of Sargeras as well as Taurus. Ah, so it worked. So you'll notice these doors just opened. That's because there is a little thing that I can be able to have on me. I don't think I even have it on me. It's in my bank. Where once you take down, I believe it's Elyson 4 times, you could then unlock this skip, which goes to the teleporter here, which allows you to then go straight to Elyson, which you have to beat in order to then fight Gul'dan. We, of course, are not doing that, though, because I'm showing off the entire raid here. Gotta have a lot of nasty little acid here. But yeah, it's the Talisman of the Shaldor Eye. So this is our first boss here. Scorpiron. Deep within...
What madmen thought to infuse this creature with the Nightwell's power? Have a care. If this abomination was created to protect lower reaches of the Citadel from invaders, it must be particularly deadly.
By the way, I think Khadgar... I don't think he's actually supposed to be here with us at the moment. I think... Or maybe he leaves at some point. Because we're actually going to be trying to... attempting to free our forces that are up top. Remember, our forces are frozen in time because of the Lysra's spell. The idea here is that we're going through here underneath to avoid that, in order to also find a way to stop that so we can get more of our forces in here. Because this is now our full-on assault on the main portion of the Nightborn forces that are fighting on behalf of Elyson and the higher-ups, as well as defending Gul'dan, since a number of the Nightborn have willingly joined the Legion, while many that are part of the Dusk Lily are not, because they are, of course, part of the Resistance with the Lysra. But anyway, to continue what I was saying before the Lysra interrupted, deep within the foundations of the Nighthold, beneath the sea, lie long-forgotten vaults that give access to the Nightwell itself. This monstrous armored Scorpid has made its home in one of these vaults. Infused with the power of the Nightwell, and surrounded by a teeming brood, Scorpiron presents a serious complication to an otherwise promising back entry to the Nighthold. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this boss here.
This is a momentous day, my friends. Until the Legion came, no outsider was permitted inside the corridors of the Nighthold for 10,000 years.
Yeah. I can actually get pieces for this set. I actually wouldn't mind the heroic one a little bit more, because I like the colors. Reminds me of Boba Fett. The colors on this one... looks odd to me. Now, the LFR one is actually not bad, because those are like, I don't know, like Nox Ramus colors. I actually like the color scheme for this. But, of course, the Mythic one. Oh, I spent so much time collecting this set, because, oh, I love this set so much. But, yeah. Also, you probably noticed I got this. This is, as I mentioned, I'm still on the Balance of Power questline, because now the Balance of Power questline has these two separate quests right here, where Caligos wants me to go bring back one of Gul'dan's eyes so that he can use it on the device there. Also, we're collecting these night shards from bosses, which you can do on normal or higher. So, I'm going to have to do this a few more times in order to get all the shards, in order to be able to actually finish the quest and get my extra weapon appearances. Which, yeah, I have spent a bit of time working on this. It's not something I can do overnight, but I don't mind. The fact that you can be able to do this so easily at max level with a geared character, you just kind of end up feeling like you can just blaze through the whole Suramar portion of the game. It makes going through that whole portion, especially the withered training part, much easier and much less aggravating.
The fate of my people rests in the hands of outsiders. All of you, to save us from the terrible bargain made by our queen.
Ajara. Yep. There's the base of the Nightwell.
Shanar Dalaras! I have no idea how such an entity came to be. But the essence of the Nightwell is surging through it. Tendrils of power are emanating from the aberration. I believe Elisande is using this creature to maintain the time lock spell. In order to free our allies at the gate, this monstrosity must be destroyed.
Yeah, that's our next boss. But yeah, I just wanted you to see, like, that's like the base of the Nightwell going all the way up to the top. Remember, it's also connected to the Eye of Amanthul, but I'll show that when we get there. So yeah, this is our next boss. The Chronomatic Anomaly. The cavern at the base of the Nightwell is a maelstrom of raw energy, as the raw power to fuel an entire civilization courses from the earth. Born from this chaotic flux, the Chronomatic Anomaly is an embodiment of the power of the Eye of Amanthul, as it lashes out with energy attacks. The bursts of energy warp the very flow of time. By the way, you can get a weapon illusion from him called Kronos. I've got it. What's funny is I know somebody who's actually been farming this illusion, and he has the Nightmare one that I mentioned in the Emerald Nightmare raid. I told him it's reversed for me compared to him, where he's trying to get the Kronos one here. I have it. He has the Nightmare one. I don't. And honestly, I'm just kind of like, I want the Nightmare one. And he's like, you want to swap? Too bad you can't actually do that, but anyways.
Why defy that which devours all things?
Just kind of shielding myself to see if maybe I can show off the fight a bit. While my minions just kind of whittle down his health.
The
Waning time particle.
turn against you.
You've been given a time bomb.
My time has come.
Nice little time
The
joke and
time
pun
lock is
there.
broken. They are free!
No doubt our forces will be disoriented. I will inform them what happened, and see that they make ready to resume our assault.
From here we have access to the palace grounds. We can open the gates from the inside.
An excellent plan. Good luck, heroes.
So yeah, that's when Khadgar leaves us. By the way, this trash can be a little annoying. You know why? Because these things can just yank you all the way to where they are. I don't like getting yanked to a place that I didn't want to. Also, this trash here. Ooh, boy. My goodness, gross. A bunch of sludge. Just absolutely gross and disgusting. Ugh. I don't envy the person who has to clean all this up. Can you tell I'm kind of hinting and building up to something? Oh, look at this. All this sludge all over the place. Oh, gross, disgusting. I wonder what that is. But, oh, look at all this slime and sludge everywhere. Ugh. Oh, it's spreading everywhere. Oh, gross, disgusting.
Filthy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was building up to, because, well, I love this boss. Trilliax, once proud servant to the Nightborn aristocracy, has been discarded and left to slowly deteriorate among other surplus constructs. While an unwavering will to carry out its tasks remains, the passage of time has splintered this construct's personality matrix. It is now unpredictably switches from one mode to the next, ranging from doting caretaker to homicidal sterilizer, craving recognition and validation from a master that no longer exists. So, this boss is wonderful because this is something about some bosses I absolutely love. Even if the fight is not all that fun gameplay-wise, if you have a boss that with dialogue that's extremely entertaining and puts a smile on my face or makes me laugh, I'm going to enjoy myself a whole lot more. It's kind of what's going on these days currently with the Council of Blood fight. It may be a pain of a fight to do as a raid boss fight, but the dialogue is just so hysterical and just funny, I just can't help but laugh or smile whenever we do the fight. And the same thing is with this boss. He has hilarious dialogue. The voice acting here is wonderful. And it starts off right off the bat with when you pull it. Because he says,
You're tracking mud everywhere!
How many of you know somebody in real life that's like that? Where you walk in with your dirty shoes and they just flip out.
Master, I know it's your fate.
And they're like, oh, you're tracking dirt everywhere! So yeah, there's also this mechanic over here where with these food dishes over here. I know it's your favorite! He has another line that I'm really hoping he says. Just to
Have a bite, Master! I know it's your favorite.
I'm not sure if I'll actually get him to do it.
Stop squirming! Makes it hard to stab you.
Come on. I'm really trying to kind of bait out as much of his voice acting as I can, because I just love it so much.
Hold still, Master, for incineration!
Gotta remember, what does the food do? Eat the toxic slices.
I'm not sure what I've done. Apologies for the mess, Master. I shall tidy up immediately.
See, yeah.
Famished, Master. Please have some refreshments.
Can you please die without making such a mess?
There's the line right there. That's the one. Can you please die without making such a mess?
On my floor? Die! Have a bite, Master.
You leave crumbs on my floor? Die! Like, this is someone who is taking the whole making everything as clean as possible a little extreme. But yeah, I'm stuffed. Oh, I can't eat another bite.
Have a bite, Master. I know it's your favorite.
But yeah, toxic food. You can even see the skull on the cake there. Yeah.
Well struck, sir. Right in my pain cluster.
The palace grounds are just ahead. You'll find them even more heavily defended than the lower levels.
I got you, Thalysra. That was nice. It actually gave me that thing where I had 3 shards instead of just 1. But yeah, I love the voice acting of that boss. Just the way he gets so into it. And I just also love the back and forth where he switches to the... It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, master. I shall tidy up. And then going back to... It's like, you left crumbs? Die! Just... The back and forth is just so entertaining for me. I love bosses like that. It's like I said, it's the same with the Council Blood fight. Even if the fight's not fun, the dialogue can still make me have a good time. And that matters to me.
It's too far away.
Thalysra, I've cleared the way. Would you like to follow? So yeah, we've now made our way up from under the palace to we are about to reach the front gate area. We can even see some of the citizens. They're like, oh, guards! Who are not really with Thalysra. Or they're still living in fear of not being part of Thalysra's resistance because, well, of the stuff that was going on. So there's the front gates. That's actually a little separate entrance entrance for the instance that you can utilize over here. Nice you to finally join me. But yeah, see, that's the entrance where they all got frozen in time over there. So I believe they should be showing up here any moment. Unless I have to clear more of the trash before they do.
I'm out of range.
Got broom up. I think maybe I have to take care of the next boss first, which is right here, actually. Spellblade Aluriel. Aluriel always had an affinity for magic. She rose through the ranks of the Night Guard effortlessly, having a natural talent with the sword. But no matter how strong she became, she wanted more. She studied with the mages at the University of Suramar, spending her days in combat training and her evenings in the artificery. She forged her weapons and armor in the Nightwell, weaving magic spells into the precious metals. She is the first Spellblade, adept in the schools of Fire, Frost, and Arcane. So yeah, this is, you could almost make a case of her being a legit battle mage, because she is able to be a very strong spellcaster and wield weapons and such like a warrior. Look, I mean, just look at that. She's got a big weapon there with a big shield.
Entire armies have fallen by my sword. What chance could you possibly have against me? Behold a true mistress of the blade! Watch your footing! I'd hate to see you slip up! Replicate!
Ah, here it is. Oh, it didn't work. I've seen her use a couple of other mechanics so much often whenever we do mythic runs of this.
Consider this a lesson in swordplay! I must concede.
Here they come. Hey, Khadgar.
At long last, the battle to liberate Suramar is joined. No more must our resistance hide in the shadows.
The gates are breached. Sorry we couldn't join you sooner, but we had a bit of a mess to clean up out front. I'll see to fortifying our position here. Thalisra, your guidance has been invaluable to our champions so far. They'll rely upon your wisdom in the battles ahead.
The people of Suramar owe these heroes a debt we can never fully repay. I will stand with them until the end.
I'll keep an eye on your progress. Good luck.
So yeah, look at everyone that's here. Liadrin, Valtoire, Victoire, Arluel, Silgrin, Romath, and Tyrande. So anyways, let's head this way first. There's a couple bosses over here, and one of them in particular I want to show off some stuff about. If I can. I'll try. Hold on, let me try and clear up this room as much as I can. Alright. So. Oh. Hey, hey. I want to make a joke. I'm getting hit by falling stars. This is Star Augur Atreus. The Nightborn astromancer Atreus has devoted long years of research to scouring the skies of Azeroth, seeking answers to the great mysteries of the universe. His scrying has shown him worlds beyond our ken. And the power of the Nightwell allows him to draw upon the essence of those worlds to amplify his own powers. He has a couple of things he does during the fight that are actually visually kind of cool. And when you think about it, a couple of them could actually be like cool teasers. I'll try and show them off as best I can.
If only you knew what lay beyond. The stars align. Fear their portents.
You heard what you were saying, Light. It's like, oh, if only you knew what lay beyond.
Such insolence. Very well. I shall show you. See for yourself the cruel frozen void that lies beyond the margin of Azeroth's skies.
I like this guy's voice acting too. But it's just a frozen planet, and it's just outer space.
The stars had judged you and found you wanting.
But it's something that's kind of interesting about this. The idea that he discovered space, and the idea of just the very idea of outer space, what it is, what it, means, and just like, in the grand scheme of things, what it actually is, almost broke him. Like, just, like, the weight of the knowledge of outer space and what it is was just something that just snapped something in him.
The stars align. Fear their portents.
Which I think is actually kind of cool. And I kind of like that idea because, really, when you think about it, outer space is kind of terrifying. The whole idea about it and just, what it is, like, one of the things that I remember just terrifying the crap out of me was the trailer for Gravity, where we see Sandra Bullock's character get disabled and she just starts free, plummeting through into outer space with no way to stop herself. And just the idea of, like, something like that happening just is horrible. To me, anyway. I just realized I'm losing health here. I can't exactly just stand here. Alright, I think I'm okay now. Because he's doing magic damage, and my legendary heals me from magic damage that I take, so... Let's try and get him to the next phase here.
The stars have judged you and found you.
Come on, show more of your mechanics. Let's get to the next one, pal. Come on.
The Burning Legion, slayers of whole worlds. Could we hope to resist? Can you?
Oh, I can't really get rid of this. Because I need other players to get rid of it. Uh-oh. But yeah, look at that planet.
Fear their portents.
Covered by the fell. Yikes. Alright, so my AMS should be able to help me out here. To help me keep me alive long enough to try and show off as much of this as I can. Because look at that. Look, it's even animated there. Oh, that's so cool. I just love some of these kind of skyboxes and like animations that they set up here.
Is that not enough? Must I show you the true horror of our reality? Very well. Witness what I have seen.
This is the big one right here.
Tremble! The stars are avatars of non-existence.
Crap.
Knowing nothing but hunger.
It keeps stacking.
These are the beings who will devour the future you so futilely fight to protect.
Okay, alright. Fine. But look at that, with the tentacles moving, look at that! The implication of that's what happens to a world that is completely consumed by the old gods. Now, I don't believe that's them saying that's like the actual world of the Void Lords, but boy, it would be kind of cool if that was the case. Like a legit full-on teaser in that regard. That would be kind of awesome. Why is he now all of a sudden taking hardly any damage?
The stars have judged you and found you wanting.
Why is he not dying? Okay, I guess once I get to this point, it's like, nope, now I can't kill him for some reason. Unless I have to kill this trash here first. Which I can't seem to be able to do. Oh, they get a giant damage buff. Like, I'm doing everything I can. I'm not doing anything here. I may have to just die and reset this and then just quickly kill him because this is getting out of hand. Because these things are now just not even dying. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna die.
The stars have judged you and found you wanting.
Well, I showed off the stuff I wanted to show off. Alright, there we go.
To the majesty of the stars, you are nothing less than nothing.
I have many lucky doos. You like? Good fortune to our friends.
Alright. I showed off what I wanted to show off with the different planets, especially the Void one there, which I was just like, oh, that is so cool. Now we'll just go up there and kill him. Just straight up, just boom. You're dead. I had never done that fight that long and didn't realize that that's something that happens, where at that point he just stops really taking damage, and you get this giant stack debuff that needs other players to have it be removed. But if you kill him fast enough, it's not really an issue, which that's part of the point. Alright. It's alright.
If only you knew what lay beyond. Such insolence. Very well. I shall show you. See for yourself the cool frozen void. I don't think the future will be so easy.
Estrella thought himself superior to, well, everyone. I confess, I enjoyed seeing him humbled.
Yeah, well, Thalyssra had a bone to pick with a lot of people here. This next boss is, well, you'll see. He's also not thought of very fondly amongst other players as a boss fight.
Suramar owes its beauty to my blooms. I alone have mastered the delicate intertwining of magic into nature's grand cycle.
This is High Botanist Tellarn. From his youth, the Nightborn Tellarn was fascinated by plant life, the resilience and adaptability of weeds, the ability of simple grass to harness the power of the sun, the way a tree may be divided into two, or two branches grafted into one. Aided by the energies of the Nightwell, he has transformed himself to the point that he is scarcely, or scarcely, that he is, scarcely? Shouldn't that say scarcely? Recognizable as a Nightborn elf. He now considers himself something far, far greater. Yeah, he's given himself a bit of a transformation. Let's go ahead and clear up the room first. Alright.
It seems I've a bit of proving to do. The sun warms my beauties. It shall still hope to stand against the three primal forces that shape life itself. I'll bring you my harvest.
So the palace gardener turned himself into a plant?
What can I say? He took his job seriously.
Yeah, a little too seriously. Little too enamored with his plants. Okay. So the next boss, well, I'm not too fond of how he's used. It's a very, very familiar name. Yeah. I'll talk about this in just a sec when we actually get to him. But first we have to save a friend who's been captured and held prisoner here. Look at this! Let's get you out of there, Lilith.
Free at last. Thank you, Outlander. I told Aluriel you would come to rescue me, and she merely laughed. Well, who is laughing now?
Incompetent mortal filth. These Nightborn can't even defend their own palace from invasion. If it were up to me. But I suppose we will reward our allies soon enough. Until then, I'll amuse myself by cleaning up their mess.
Okay. This is Tichondrius. Oh, man. Forgive me, I'm trying to adjust something on my microphone, so... Oh boy, Tichondrius. The Dreadlord Tichondrius, once leader of the Nathrazim, was once slain by the newly awakened power of none other than Illidan Stormrage. Reconstituted in the Twisting Nether, Tichondrius returns to watch over Gul'dan on behalf of the Legion, ensuring that the Orc Warlock does not, once again, fail his masters. Because, of course, Tichondrius remembers what happened because, well, he was there. I hate what they do with... This... Here's the big problem I have with this. This is Tichondrius. This is an iconic character. This, other than Mal'Ganis, was the first Dreadlord that we ever saw. Again, other than Mal'Ganis. I know Mal'Ganis has that... You know, what's funny is he only makes one brief cameo in this, and that's it. And then that Tichondrius is here. He's basically a throwaway raid boss. Tichondrius was such an important character in Warcraft 3. And he's just a throwaway character here. Like, Tichondrius was like the head of the Nathrazim. And some of us even thought he was permanently killed because of how he was killed by Illidan. And then he comes back here just, yeah, he's fine. And he makes this one brief appearance here as a raid boss. He doesn't have a bigger role. There's a couple of other Dreadlords that have a bigger role than Tichondrius does. I mean, Mephistroth is a bigger character in this expansion than Tichondrius is. Which seems ridiculous considering how much more of a well-known character Tichondrius is compared to Mephistroth. This is the only actual time they actually utilize a character this well-known here. Ugh. Like, there are a couple of other times they use other Dreadlords. We will encounter one of them in Antorus. But this is Tichondrius, and it feels like they just didn't, like, treat his character with any kind of respect at all here. Because he's just here as a raid boss. And that's it. Yeah. I don't like what they do here with him.
You think getting past the real power of means you can stand against the true son of the Legion? Impossible! You are inferior!
In the Third War, Tychondrius fell in battle against Illidan's Stormmage. I think the Demon Hunter's spirit is pleased that the Dreadlord has met another painful end.
Because remember, he's got Illidan's spirit with him.